Hey everyone, I'm recording this short video to show the unboxing and assembly process of Ubo Pro 5. So I'm just gonna get right into it. So this is the box that you're gonna receive the product inside. So I'm gonna open it, I'm gonna rotate it this way and open from this side. So the box is going to include Ubo Pro 5, power adapter, Ethernet cable, and micro SD card. I'm just going to take this out of the box and put the box on the side for now. And so when you receive this, you need to remove the top. You just need to pull it. It's not attached. It's just like inserted on the top. You just need to gently pull it like so. It is connected to the header connectors here on the sideboard. So this is connected to these headers here, so there's a little bit of a friction, so you need to pull it out. And then inside I have all the components arranged. So we have the screws and the screwdriver in a small plastic bag. We have a heatsink. I'm gonna take these things out of the box. So this is the heatsink, and here we have the sideboard, 2 speakers, and the front camera. And this is basically the top logic board. So the first thing you need to do is to remove the screwdriver. And here, I'm gonna zoom in here so that you can see better. So the sideboard has 2 plastic screws. So you need to unscrew the sideboard. So I'm gonna remove these plastic screws here. So we put these screws so that this won't move around during shipping. So you need to unscrew these 2 little plastic screws and remove them. So I'm gonna remove one, put it aside, and then the other one as well here. There are only 2. Okay. This one is being a bit stubborn. Okay. And then remove this from the enclosure, put it on the side. And I usually remove these speakers too, so there are no screws. You can just like slide them off. You can keep them inside, but these like the wires for the speakers are gonna be in the way. So I'm gonna remove them and then insert them at the last step. So there are no screws. You can just like slide them off like this, and then set them on the side. And you know, actually, I'm gonna also remove the camera. The camera is a snap fit. There are no screws, so you just like push it back a little bit and then take it out. And so the next thing that you need to do is to take a Raspberry Pi 5. So I'm gonna put this on the side for now. So I have my Pi 5 here. So the next step is to connect the sideboard to the Pi 5. So these HDMI connectors and the USB-C align. So the way I usually do it is that I put this on one side in my hand like this, and then I take the other one like this, and then try to align these ports. So don't press them until you find them kind of aligned, and then kind of wiggle them in this kind of motion, and then insert the board fully inside. So it's a bit tricky. You have to kind of align them first and then like wiggle it to go inside. And then this one is the micro SD card connector, which goes here. So you have to like rotate it like this and then insert it into the micro SD card reader slot. And then you have the sub-assembly ready now. And then the next step here is to take the enclosure, and then you need to insert this. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So you need to take this and then insert it like this at an angle. So I'm going to go in like this. It is because I have this like piece of plastic from the button that needs to go inside this hole here. So try to align that as you insert it in. Hold them from the HDMI ports gently, and then align these, and then you might have to need to tuck in these flex cable so it's not in the way, and then it drops right in. And So this is the next step is to connect the NVMe board, PCIe extension board or the adapter board to the Raspberry Pi 5. For that, you need to disconnect. I'm going to zoom in so that you can see this a little bit closer. So you need to pull the connector here, and then for this one, I'm gonna make a little bit of a bend. So you need to bend it and then insert it here. You see how it goes going in, and then use your other finger to push the header inside. So this one is a little bit tricky. You have to kind of get used to it, but the trick is to bend the cable a little bit. Don't worry, this is like a very flexible cable. It's not gonna damage the cable or anything. And connect it like that. And then I'm gonna take the plastic screws that I used previously that I disconnected or unscrewed from the board, and then place them back in. Actually, before doing that, I'm gonna place in the camera. Sorry, it's better to do the camera first because this is like moving and gives you like a little bit of a leeway to insert the camera. I'm gonna insert the camera back in, press it in. By the way, the camera that comes default is 5 megapixel, but then you have the option to upgrade it to 16 megapixel or a higher resolution camera, but the default is the 5 megapixel camera. And now I'm going to use the screw and then tie down the sideboard. I usually don't go all the way with the screws initially. I just like put in the screws and then just go like 80% and then leave the 20% at the end. So I'm gonna empty the screws that I have here in the plastic box. So I'm gonna take one of the plastic screws, and so there are 5 plastic screws on the sideboard. You don't have to tie down all of them. I usually go around to like 4. I tie down 4 of the screws, and here I got 3. So there is another one here, and there's another one here. Let's go with this one. There you go. And then the last one is gonna go here in this corner. This one is going kind of surprisingly smooth. Don't be discouraged if you run into some issues here and there. So this one is screwed down. There are 4 more screws on the Raspberry Pi holes, so I'm going to use these small kind of laptop screws for those 4 screw holes on the Raspberry Pi side. I'm going to press this down. I think I have a little bit of alignment here. Okay, it's going down now. Sometimes you have to wiggle and play around so that the holes align. Oh, this one is a bit tricky. Okay, so this one's gonna go in this corner here. So we got 2, and then we have this one, and this one here. So I'm gonna add these 2. It can be sometimes a little bit tricky. These are small screws. Okay, got it. Okay, got this one. And then I'm going to add this one. So I got all those 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4 screws on the Raspberry Pi side. Now it's time to connect the heatsink. I'm going to remove the heatsink. This one is a Pi 5 heatsink. I'm going to remove the paper from here, and then this is going to go like this and align. So these plastic connectors or pins, these plastic pins have to align with the holes on the Raspberry Pi board. So align them and then gently push it down with your finger, and then do the same with the other one. Like, it can be a bit tough. Don't use tools for this. Try to use your fingers, because some people might use screwdrivers and then it would just like you go like on the board and damage your Raspberry Pi. I highly recommend you just use your finger to press it down. Don't be tempted to use a tool to press it down. And then you have to connect the fan connector. So the fan connector yellow line has to go on this side facing the enclosure side. So I'm gonna hold it down. It's a bit hard to see in the camera. I'm gonna try to get it in the shot. I don't know if you see it or not. Yeah, the orientation is the important one. Like, as you can see, the yellow wire is on this side, so it's next to the enclosure side. On the outer side of Raspberry Pi is the yellow cable is on this side, and you press it down. And the last step is to connect the camera. I mean, we still have a few more steps. So just pull up the FPC connector, bend the cable, FPC cable, insert it in, and then once fully inserted, use your other finger to push down the plastic lever. There it is. This is connected. We need to now connect the speakers. So for the speakers, I would go. So with the speaker on this side, the one that is closer to the heatsink, try to get the cable going like on this side. Oh, sorry. Yeah, like this. So the cable gonna be like going over the Ethernet cable. So I'm gonna rotate it this way and push it down. You see how the cable is on this side, and then take the connector, and the connector is gonna go here to this connector. So the cable is gonna kind of go over the Ethernet and the USB ports. That's how, because if it's going this way, it's gonna block the header pins. So this is one side, and on the other side, I would go like this. So the cable is coming out from this at this direction, and then I'm gonna try to tuck in the cable and then connect the cable here to this connector. Okay, went in, and then I usually just like try to tuck in the cable so it's not on the way. I think it's good enough. Yeah, we got it. Let me zoom out a bit. So we have the camera cable going to this, sorry, the speaker cable going to one connector on this side, and the other cable, speaker cable going to this connector on this side. We're pretty much done. I have some extra, I provided some extra screws just in case anything goes wrong during assembly. You have extra screws, but you can put them back into the plastic cable and use them later. And the next step, you don't need any screws for that. This one is gonna, the header pins on this end is going to connect to Raspberry Pi 40-pin header connector, and then these 8-pin 2x8 pin connectors are going to connect to these header pins. So you need to align things. So you need to look on the side and then try to align these pins as much as you can. Don't press this too hard to bend, because you can bend the pins. Just like be very gentle, and then let it kind of find its way, and that's it. It's all inserted, and our assembly is complete. So here on the bottom side, you can remove this cover. So this one is a Pro with additional add-ons. So this is a bottom cover with a quick access cover. So this is a special add-on. Usually the bottom cover does not have this quick access, and it comes like this. So this is our regular bottom cover. This one is a special add-on cover that gives you quick access to the NVMe with this quick access cover. So this is special add-on. If you have added that to your order, it'll arrive like this. Otherwise, it's gonna arrive like this. And then for the NVMe, if you have bought the adapter board for the NVMe, it's gonna include the PCIe adapter board, and if you have purchased the drive, it'll come with the drive assembled. And one thing to note, to keep in mind about NVMe drive, booting from NVMe drive, is that if you bought your Raspberry Pi like a year ago, you might have to update your E2P-ROM firmware to boot from NVMe. Otherwise, it should boot up from the NVMe drive as you power it on. And yeah, and that's it. So I'm gonna place the cover back on. Let's do a boot test real quick. So I'm gonna take this one. Let's try it with the NVMe. It might not boot up because I bought these Raspberry Pis a long time ago. If that is the case for you, you have to first boot it up with the SD card and then go and update your E2P-ROM. Oh, I actually missed one step. It's great that I remember this one. We have this kind of a small, I don't know if you can see it, there is this very tiny light pipe that is included in the plastic bag, and this light pipe has to go in here into the front hole, and this will basically transfer the light from Raspberry Pi, a status light, and also it serves as a boot light. I think this is booting up. I can see the light is green. Yeah, I think it's gonna boot up. Let's give it a few seconds. I don't know if you can see the light here through the light pipe, but I can see it's green. So if I press this, it's gonna press against Raspberry Pi power button. So if you have another button in the back, you can also shut down the Raspberry Pi using this button, and you can also use it to restart a Ubo application that runs on device. So the first time might take a little bit longer because it's doing resizing the file system. So let's be a little bit patient, and hopefully this will boot up in a few seconds. Okay, I might be mistaken. Let me turn this off. I'm gonna hold this button here. Okay, it's turned off. I'm gonna insert the micro SD card and then press the button again. Let's see if it's gonna boot up this time. Yeah, I think it was not booting from the NVMe because of the thing that I explained. I bought these Raspberry Pis like 1 year and a half ago, and that during that time the E2P-ROM on Raspberry Pi did not have support for boot from NVMe, so it requires an update on the firmware to enable that feature. So this is gonna like restart a few times so that the file system would resize, and the first time boot is gonna take some time. Yeah, I think it's gonna come up in a few seconds. Yay. Okay, it's booting up, and so there is also another problem. The LED ring on this one did not light up, and that's also another firmware issue. Once you upgrade the firmware, this is also it's gonna start working because of the PIO driver. So it's a new feature in Raspberry Pi, and I'm probably gonna update the software so that'll do it automatically for you, or at least ask you on the screen if you want to upgrade your firmware. Right now that feature is not available, so you have to go on the command line to update, but everything's working. And thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. feel free to also send me an email if you have questions, or join our Discord community. We have a growing number of community members on our Discord server, and also thank you for supporting my Kickstarter campaign. If you got this from my Kickstarter campaign, thank you. If you got it from my Shopify, again, thank you. And I hope you enjoy playing around with your Ubo Pod. I want to know what kind of things you want to do with it. And thanks for watching this video. Have a good day.